Greetings, and thank you for tuning in to episode 7 of What's Good, right here, a production of Tri-County Media. I'm Edris, Louise, and I'm your host for the program, and I just hope that you are going to enjoy what we have to talk about today because it's informative, it will encourage you, it will empower you, but most of all, it will energize you to be about what's good, to care about your community, and to care about you. If you'd like to reach us at What's Good, you can contact us at 728whatsgood@gmail.com. That's 728WHATGOODS@gmail.com. Email your comments, email your suggestions, because we're about you. We want to make it all good. So just email us. Also, we are looking for sponsors. So if you'd like to be a part of the What's Good family or the Tri-County Media family, come on, why don't you give us a try, because we're all about this. We want to set this place on fire with good things. Well, today we have a wonderful guest, a very great friend of mine. She's part of the owner of Caring Community Nurses Association. This is Miss Gwen Chiles. Gwen, welcome to our program today.
Welcome, and it's an honor to be here.
Well, good.
Excited.
Gwen is a nurse, and she's has a business, and she wants to tell us about it. But before we do, I want her to go into a little bit of her history. Tell us about your journey.
I started nursing way back. Let's put it like that. And the reason why I guess I started nursing, when I was a little girl, I spent most of my time in my room playing with bugs, and needles. And it just was such a great excitement to me. I think what really got my mom is the day that I, take the puppy on the ironing board, and we were going to have surgery that day if mama had caught me with the puppy. So we went on from there. My mother was probably predestined in birth. My mother wanted to be a nurse when she was a young lady, but during those times, there was not enough money, not affordable. So I started nursing. I started as an LPN. I had small children at the time, and my kids have always known Mom going to school as a nurse with books in her hand. I started out as an LPN. I worked until I saved enough money and my kids were old enough. I went back for my RN, worked until I saved enough money to do the things I knew for my family, went back for my BSN, and went back for my master's. So it's been a long, hard road, but it's been worth it. I've had a lot of oppositions. I've had a lot of hard time with nursing because just to say, with all the things that have come forth, with all the racism, I went through that. Being a black nurse is hard and was hard during the times I was coming up. You were always treated unfairly. You were always looked over for, promotions and so forth, but I overcome that because what I was doing it for the heart. I do it for the patient. It wasn't from because you can make good money, but I look at it every day when I get up and all the things I've done in nursing. It is because I love what I do. My background is med-surg, cardiac step down. I love the heart. I love the kidneys. So that's what I've done, and through all that, the things that I've done, I noticed in 1995 we needed a lot of talk with teenagers. So I started this organization in 1995. At that time I was working with teenagers. We did little workshops in the hospital when they had, AHEC was just an auditorium then, and I would go there on Saturdays and we would work with teenagers, and we spoke with them because at that time, the teenagers didn't know what was going on. And that's why I tell parents to talk to your girls. You're going to ask your friend, and your friend don't know, but your friend's going to tell you something. So we would talk to them about abstinence, about all the STDs, which are more now, condoms, birth control, hygiene, and those were the things that I did for many, many years. And then as time went on, and I realized that, illnesses are evolving, and then I noticed that, hey, hypertension and diabetes is growing, and it's growing in our community. So I started doing that. I started working with, the senior citizens, working with the young people. And now I find out with all that I've done, because I have 36 plus years of nursing, that we have a lot of young people, 27-year-olds with hypertension. 27-year-olds with diabetes, 27, 35-year-olds losing their eyesight, losing their limbs. And the reason why it is because they're non-compliant with their care. You know, a lot of times, and I always tell people that you don't find out that you're sick until you're sick. You know, we work, we take care of our kids, we take care of our families. So if we have like a little sign and symptom of something, we're gonna like, oh, it's nothing, and we're just gonna let it go because we gotta take care of our kids, our spouses, and all the other things. When we're sick and we're admitted to the hospital, that's when we find out that we have hypertension, or we have diabetes. So it's just something that you really don't find out a lot of times until you're in your late 30s or 40s.
Why do you think children that diabetes and hypertension and other illnesses are happening so frequent with children that young? I mean, because back in the olden days, you know, we ate every piece of the pig.
But you got to realize now you have this to make this blue, this to make this fat, this to make this larger. There's so many antibiotics. There's so many different ingredients in our food. You know, they want their chickens larger. You know, they put all that stuff in. The chickens are larger. You have all the different colors in food. You know, all these different preservatives, all these, and that's why a lot of people go organic, or you just eat off your farm, because there are so many ingredients in our food now that affect our kids. Because when I was 15, I was a 15. These 15s are looking like me. So I feel, me personally, I feel like it's all the things that we have in our foods, all our things that we have in our air. I mean, there's just so much stuff here that we don't even realize that's here, that's affecting us every single day. And our kids are having problems because, number one, when we were little, you go outside and play. Okay, now you're gonna set that little boy, yep, we're gonna do our games, we're gonna do it all day, we're gonna get them, go to the kitchen, eat, we're gonna play our games, we're gonna get them. And it's convenient for mom because, you know, they're busy. I don't have to scream and holler like, what you doing, why you making all that noise? Because you're playing that game. They don't play basketball, they don't play, you know, they don't do the things that they need to do to keep them healthy and keep them exercising. So of course you got 5-year-olds that are overweight. So it's a revolving cycle, but it's because that we as American and we as people, we don't realize that you have to be active. You have to eat healthy. You can't eat out every day. You can eat out, but you got to eat sensibly. Fast foods are full of fat, sugars, and salt. And that's what is easy for parents. You got basketball, you got football. It's easy for a mom to get them out of school and take them to get them a little snack and move on to whatever, and then you may have to do it again. Okay, you didn't eat a healthy meal, but you did the best you can. So you can't really fault the parents because they're doing the best they can. And most households are moms. Moms are doing the best they can with what they have. They just can't afford some of the things that they need to afford to take care of their babies. So their babies have, you know, they have health issues.
That's really eye-opening. And I can honestly say, I mean, I'm sitting here, everyone sees I am overweight. And I do know when I was, I had to catch myself one time, and I am working on it. I'm going to the gym, and I am trying to eat right. I'm a stress eater, though. You know, but I'm trying and work through that. But I can remember one time when I was riding in the car, and because I'm single, I would just, you know, stop at a fast food place, and like the side of my car was just full of all the different fast food things. And I just had to say, Louise, you've got to stop. Because we've got to take time and take care of ourselves.
Because you want to be here to be. My grandmother was 93 when she died. So my thing is, I know now, I like I love cupcakes. So, and everybody know I love cupcakes. Okay, but myself personally, I have, like right now in my refrigerator, I have squash, I have zucchini, I have onions, and then I get the turkey, and then you can go home and you can just do a stir fry. And it only takes like 20 or 30 minutes. You can do enough. You can have dinner today, and you can either be lunch or dinner tomorrow. But you can do that, you know, healthy snacks, apples, oranges, bananas, things like that. You can keep those at home. When you get home, like you say you ride, put your little ice chest in your thing, cut up your cucumber, get you some strawberries, some fruit, put it in your ice chest. And so then you're reaching for that. You're not reaching for the snacks. You have the healthy stuff with you. So, you know, that's why I tell people, try that, because I'm a firm believer. I don't believe in diets. I believe in healthy lifestyle changes. Because when you do a diet, you're gonna do your diet to lose the weight that you need to lose. And most people are on a diet because there's an occasion, there's an event. So once the event's over, they've lost that weight, we're comfortable again. So we're eating again, and we're gaining, plus we're gaining. So, you know, I teach healthy lifestyle changes, because this is the way you need to eat for the rest of your life, not just a temporary fix.
And also the exercising can be as
Exercising.
simple as just walking 15 to 20 minutes a
Walking
day.
15 minutes a day. You can go outside. Like right now, you can go down the street and up, down the street and up. At home, you can stand in place. You can march to music. Cans of cans. If you don't have any weights, cans. Fruit. Whatever, you can make a weight out of. You can work out at home.
Yeah, because a lot of people use that as an excuse. I don't have a gym membership. But, I always say God provides everything.
He
Because I
does.
know that He provides, like, we're able to move.
Right.
We're able to move to music. We're able to move to praise Him.
That's right.
We're able just to move. So He
Yes.
gives us what we need. We
Right.
just have to take advantage of
Right,
it.
you do.
And I haven't gotten there yet.
But you will.
But I'm getting there.
You will get there. It takes time. When people are talking about losing weight and they're talking about making a healthy lifestyle, it's one day at a time. Today I didn't drink a soft drink. Well, that's wonderful. That was a change, because if you realize, if you stop, I tell everybody, take this challenge and do it yourself. If you stop drinking soft drinks for 1 week, I assure you that you will lose some weight, because drinks are full of sugar. If you look at the bottle of soft drinks, full of sugar.
Wow.
Full of sugar.
Well, just as you say, just one step at a time
step
can
at a
help
time.
it.
One.
Well, I can tell your passion for this.
Go on.
And were you ever, so you were always about educating, or what are the fields that you go? were you
I
in
have,
first?
okay, I've educated, I spent most of my career really has been in teaching. I taught nursing at the university level. I've done that. But my heart is in the community. And that's where my organization, Caring Community Nursing, which is a nonprofit organization, that's what we do. We go to churches. We go to any organization, church that will allow us to come in. We did, before COVID came, we did a community outreach in Greenwood, where we did that at the library there. We had the blood bank came, and then Greenwood came, hospital came and did cholesterol, and we had like lots of different vendors, and we brought all of our things. What I feel like's different about us is that you don't come to any of our events and you just pick up information. Like most events, you go to health fairs, lectures and education, you go and you just pick up a brochure, put it in your little bag, and you go. We're not like that. We are hands-on. So if you come to our table and it's breast cancer, it's breast information, and we have our breast models, we're going to teach you what a nodule feel like. We're going to teach you what you're going to feel yourself. Then we're going to show you, if you don't know how to check your breast, how to check your breast. Even men can have, because
Right.
Richard Roundtree had breast cancer.
Wow, okay.
So we teach men how to do it. Prostate. We teach, usually one of our docs will go with us sometimes, because we collaborate with other places, and sometimes they're men. We talk about your prostate. We will show you how to check your prostate. My thing is this: I always put your pride in your pocket. When you see us, we're not judging. We're not judging. We've had men actually come up and say, "Hey, I'm having some prostate cancer problems, been diagnosed, or I'm having some prostate problems." That is exactly what we want to hear. We don't want you to come up to us and be embarrassed and ashamed because you're having these issues. We want you to tell us what's going on, and let us tell you the things that you need to do. Give us some information so we can guide you where to go.
You brought out a good point about how we, those who are parents, we try to take care of everybody else. And when it's too late, when the actual diagnosis of cancer happens, when if we
Right.
just would do those monthly breast examinations,
Yes.
the watching what we eat, it won't be, it won't be so bad if we just did it, proactively.
Right. Because usually when we find breast cancer, it's in stage 4. And with us, African American, I don't know why it is, but we always have small loads, which is fast growing. It's just something that affect the African American people. But breast cancer you can fight that. You can win that. Find that lump when it's tiny, tiny, tiny. I've had scares too, because I have I'm religious. I have my mammogram every year, and they did find it was like a blur or discoloration, and she called me, she had to come back. Of course, I was nervous and I was afraid. I mean, I know who my father is. So I was good with that, but I was, still a little nervous, because I'm like saying, I go every month. I check my breast every month, but I was good. I was fine. My daughter had a nodule in her breast at the age of 16. It was benign, but it was a nice size. So I've had the same scares, and people, the ladies that work with me, the docs that work with me, we are real people that have had real problems. A lot of these illnesses, we've had, cancer, hypertension, diabetes. We talk to you. We are there. We are not, as I've said, come pick up something and put it in your little bag or whatever and go on. We are going to talk to you. Stop us and talk. Whatever it is that you need, you do that. We also do little workshops where we call them, they like little mini clinics, where the docs do come with us and we have all our material out, and you go to different stations and you gather the information about certain things. I ask people to bring their medications with them. So as they're going around, they're gathering information and we're talking to them about their issues and their problems. At the end, there are 2 docs in private rooms, and those people can individually, you go in and I tell them they've heard it all. There's nothing you can tell them that they're going to be ashamed. They've heard it all. So this gives them a time to talk about their medications if they brought them, talk about their illness if they need to, and ask other questions if they have to. Because I have also found out is that a lot of times when African Americans go to the doctor and the physician's talking these big words, they don't understand them. But they don't say, I don't understand what you're saying. They say, okay, all right.
You know what's best for me.
Right, and that's what they do instead of being proactive. You are proactive. Be proactive in your care. So this gives young, old, an opportunity to sit down and right in front of the doc and ask them whatever question that you need. And we found other issues just doing that and saying, hey, you need to go see your doc, like make an appointment next week. We've been at places and we've found blood sugars that are out the wazoo, and we've had to, listen, call your family member, you need to go to the ER right now. So those are the type of things we do because we're serious. It's an all-day thing. We're tired when we get home, but it's worth it. If we save one person, it is worth it.
And there isn't a fee for the screenings and for...
There is no fee for anything we do. When caring community nurses come out to your organizations, we come with us. We work on donations. If we have no money in our account, we buy it out of our pockets. So whatever we bring, and that was one of the other things too, even when because we collab with SEF and we do cholesterol checks, and the senior citizens, how they're on a budget, and she'll say, oh, so are you going to get your cholesterol check? And she'll say, no. I'm like, it's free. She'll say, oh, I thought I had to pay. But no, ma'am, it's not. Everything that you see here today, it is free.
And you serve the Greenwood County?
We serve Greenwood and surrounding counties. We will pack up and drive.
All they have to do is call and get you to come out, like
Call
the
us.
festivals.
Whatever you need to do. Now, I like to work inside, and I'm going to tell you why I like working inside. And because my models, like my breast models, they are made out of a certain type of material. They have to be at a certain temperature. So I like to be out in a cool place. But you call us and ask us to come out. We're going to look at our schedule and see what we got and see if we can get our team together. We'll pack up and we bang all our stuff. I'll just tell you the things that we need and you just have it available. If it's near, I like to come like a couple of days before to see what's going on so I can tell you what we need set up. But yeah, we're Greenwood surrounding counties.
So how many nurses are there in the caring community?
We have, right now, there are 3 of us, 3 nurses. We have a phlebotomist, we have a CNA, we have 2 docs. An NP, she went back to school. So we're recruiting new people on our team. But it doesn't make any difference because if it's 2 of us will come. If whatever obligation that we've said, if everybody can't go, whoever can go. We have never turned down and say, hey, we're not coming. We're coming if it's just me. So we're going to be there to do what we need to do.
Well, that's wonderful. What other projects have you done thus far? The church is organizing lectures, workshop, mini clinics. We do the yearly physicals, and that's this Saturday. So this Saturday we are doing free physicals for elementary, middle, high school, and colleges. Swim team, whatever, hockey, it doesn't make any difference what it is. And we do this every year. And why we do this is because, as I've said before, most households are single moms. Some of these physicals are $35 if they don't have insurance. So mom wants all her boys to play ball, but somebody may not get to play. So we take care of that. All we ask is you bring your physical form from your The agency or the
No, from your school district.
school district?
Like
okay.
where shows. So this Saturday is Greenwood and surrounding counties, Abbeville, where shows 96. Whomever can get there and drive, bring your form from your district because they may look a little different. Greenwoods are all the same, but where shows may be a little different than ours. So
Okay.
bring your physical form, and we're going to be there Saturday morning. We'll be there from 8 to 12 at the Boys and Girls Club on East Cambridge.
It's great to be able to partner with
Yes.
different organizations.
It is the best.
So what time will you be at the Boys and Girls Club?
We will be there from 8 to 12 Saturday.
Okay.
And we want moms, please bring your babies because it's free. It's free. I mean, I think that at one time one of the mini shops, like the hospital little things you go to in the afternoon, I think they were doing them for $10. I don't know if they did that this year. And I know that a lot of physicals were done in May. My son-in-law was telling me. So we're catching the overflow. We're catching those that missed it and child still needs it and they can't afford it. You know, my thing is don't never think that there's no help. Don't ever think, you know, that people are going to look down, because we don't. Because the people that we serve could be us on the other side. So we're going to do the very best we can to be sure that you have what you need. We get phone calls a lot and all the time with people just asking questions. What can I do? Where can I go? Because a lot of people still don't know that the pharmacies, you can get free medication. Some of your blood pressure medicines you can get free.
Wow.
Some of your diabetic medicine you can get free. Certain medicine, your antibiotics you can get free. A lot of people don't even know that, and that's where we come in at to say, hey, these are things that you can get free. And then, as I said before, on Friday night, every Friday night at 7 p.m., if anybody want to join, I'll give you my information. If anyone want to join, just send me your email. Every Friday night at 7 p.m., we are talking about a new subject. We're talking. We're doing a lot of women stuff now, but we're on there from 7 to 8. We're talking about an illness. I go through a PowerPoint educational that shows you everything, signs and symptoms, medications, and so forth. Everybody has the opportunity to ask questions. I mean, we have so much fun because it's interactive. I've been doing this a year because of COVID, and we couldn't get out. But it has been so much fun. I have learned so much, and I have met so many great different people. You know, it is so awesome to know that you can educate and have fun at the same time.
That's great.
So I'm loving it.
So what is the email, or where would they need to send their email information
Okay. Okay, let's go through that then. Okay. To reach me, Caring Community Nursing. Caring Community Nursing, community nursing at yahoo.com.
Community nursing
At yahoo.com.
Okay.
Or you can mail P.O. Box 49833, Greenwood, South Carolina, 29649.
Okay.
Or you can phone me, 864-757-2056. Or you can go to our website, which is our yourbodyyourtemple.com, and you can leave a message, voice, audible, and I'll get it.
That's awesome.
But it's so much. It's just so much.
And as you were saying, our community has so many different factors or things that are causing the different illnesses that
Right.
are coming up that
Right.
they didn't have back in the day, but they are very
Because you remember
common.
back in the day when we were younger, you know, we ate off the land. You know, and we you know, whatever medicine, you know, it was mixed up from something out in the woods. You know, you get a teaspoon of this today, a teaspoon of that. That's, you know, that's the way we did. But now, you know, I'm not gonna. I always seem like I'm hitting on men, but our African American men are the worst because they do not want to go to the doctor. Okay, so the doctor say, "Hey, you have hypertension." Okay, we know that hypertensive medicines play on their manhood, so they won't take their medicine. So a lot of men end up having a heart attack. Don't be too proud. There's medicines out there for that too. So I have found myself being in situations where I've seen married couples or young men that are too embarrassed to say, like, hey, I've been in it for a long, long time. What's the problem? You know, let's talk to your physician. Talk to him when you go back and say, hey, you know, I'm having a problem being intimate. See what medications because medication is there to help you. But you got to think about your blood pressure. You want to live. You want to live. You don't want to have a heart attack.
Yeah, taking I have high blood pressure, and that's the next thing. Once I wake up and say my prayers, thanking God for a peaceful night's rest, I'm reaching over for
Yes,
my medicine because
it's like
I want to
clockwork.
live.
It's
And,
like clockwork.
So we kind of touched on it a little bit. Besides COVID, which kind of stopped everybody, what are some other pressing issues also besides diabetes and high blood pressure do we have facing our community today?
Hunger would be one of them, but kids that are not eating well, hunger would be one of them. But one of the big things that I found out that came out of COVID is domestic violence. That is a big thing, and that's another one of my heartstrings, because before COVID, these children were going to school, moms and dads, kids were going to school, and then we sent them right back home during COVID, back into that violent area. And I had a show a month or two ago where there were 3 women that were on that needed to leave their home right then. Right then, I was telling them to leave their home. Right then, leave their home with your child right now. So domestic violence is something that really big that came out. That and neglect, and you find out that also a lot of children are not getting food because they were going to school, they were eating lunch, and then some schools have, like on the weekend, they have like a little program,
backpack,
where they send food home. That was not happening. And then they did give money to children, but hunger and domestic violence, I think, is secondary to what came out versus us having and knowing that we have the hypertensive and we have the diabetic problems. Those 2 things were something that I saw fell out, and the numbers in that was just as large as all the other stuff. And then one of the other things that's real big is our STDs with our young people. Our young people are just doing what they want to do because now, when I grew up, my mom, let's sit down and talk about this. I came from that era. Now you got the moms trying to be like the daughters. The moms dressing like the daughters. The moms partying with the daughters or acting like the daughters instead of being moms. Then you got a lot of moms that are young moms. And you got moms, their mom didn't have conversations with them. So if your mom didn't have conversations with you about birth control and STDs, how are you going to do it with your child?
If you don't know, you can't
How are you
give
gonna
what
do
you
it with your
don't know.
That's right. So you have a lot of teenagers. We've had workshops with teenagers. They don't know. They don't know the STDs. They don't know the STDs. They don't know the side effects of STDs. They don't know what to do. Everybody's telling everybody, friends telling friends about what to do, which is wrong. That's why you have a lot of these young babies giving their babies. They don't know what to do. They're pregnant. They didn't even know they was pregnant. They have a baby. They just leave it somewhere. They don't know. So that's another thing that we really need to work on. We need to work with our young women because they're to be ladies. We want our young women to be ladies. You see our young girls now acting like little wild women, and it shouldn't be that way.
And we're making other labels to confirm or to validate what we're doing, our actions, and that is something that we need to work on. And I know people say, "Oh, this is a different culture. This is different." But life is not different.
No, it's not.
Life is not, you still, the same blood that runs through our veins, the same air that we breathe, it doesn't change.
It does not.
So we have to value life.
But then one of the things that these young ladies don't realize is this: the things that you do when you're young, and now everything's on social media, follows you. It follows you. So you've done all this stuff, and then here you are a professional, and because I'm telling you, we do checks. They check your Instagram, they check your Facebook, even when you're doing college applications, because I always tell my granddaughters, I hope you don't have nothing because they're ready to go to school, because those people in administration or in admission, they're going to see what type of character that you have. These are the type of students that we want in our school and in our organization. So you're doing all these things because your friends thinking it's cool, and these little boys telling these little things, filling up your head, when you need to be thinking that I'm a lady. First of all, foremost, I am a lady, and not let these little boys treat you the way they treat you. But they like it. I mean, they're calling each other these words, and it's like, it's okay, and I'm like, oh no. In our family, we don't believe in pants. I'm telling you, my son-in-laws, we don't believe in pants walking down past their butts. My grandsons, I have 4. Nope, they don't play that.
And all that that fits in with the caring community
Yes.
nursing, because you teach on those things.
We teach on every bit of it. And
because
we are,
values.
yes, yes.
Being open, because I think our society is telling us, we may say, oh, the family doesn't matter. The family does matter.
Right.
And so the relationships can help mentally, can help physically, and can help emotionally.
Right. Mental illness, those numbers have tripled since COVID. Because you had the moms and dads, losing their jobs, not having enough money to pay their bills. And then just think about it. We took our active children that had after school programs, they had football. They're at home all day. So our kids went through a phase of depression. And some of our kids are still having issues, because my grandson went through a period of depression because you didn't see your friends. You couldn't go and do the things you do. Now they're getting back out there, but the numbers, and we were talking about this the other day in the office, the numbers of mental health has tripled. And there's mental health services for adults, but it is so hard to find mental health services for teenagers.
And as African Americans, we used to saying, "Oh, you just crazy."
Exactly.
And labeling, but the thing is, if there's a problem,
yes.
Do y'all address that?
Yes.
Like in your
we talk about it, and we try to get you where you need to go. And that's how I know that there is hardly 0 to none to find services for teenagers. Because teenagers they don't need to go, and there are places that may take them. It may not take them. They may stay 5 or 6 days. But when there's a mental illness in a family with a teenager, they need structure. They need to go to a facility that they have workshops. They need to go where they can have group. Because I feel like this, even with me, if it's not even mental health and it's another issue, you feel more comfortable talking to another person that have the same problem. Because they can say some things that can trigger you and say, hey, I haven't tried that. Maybe I can cope if I did it that way. So group therapy is good in every aspect of health. In every aspect of health, I feel like if you talk to a person that have gone through what you've gone through, then you can say, I can make it too. Even if that breast cancer, it was 4th stage and they told them they weren't going to make it and they're here. Hypertension, if they, you were like, you thinking you're doing everything you can, but you're missing something, and somebody say, hey, I was like that too, and this is what I tried. Mental health, domestic violence, all this depression. If you could just get with people that have had that. So, that is something, we do. We find that there's a mental, even if we find that we've had women just crying, and we're trying to figure out why is she crying. She would never tell us. So we just stopped doing what we did and got in a circle and held her hand and just prayed for her. Because we didn't know what it was. Because, of course, she didn't know us. She didn't want to divulge. But we knew there was a problem. So you stop and you pray and ask God for guidance and give you, clarity and help you guide that person through. And the next time I saw her, she was so thankful. A lot of times, we as human beings, myself, you all, if a person just say hello to us, it makes us feel so much better. If somebody just say, those are cute glasses, it makes us feel okay. Because even though we go to work and we are, quote unquote, sane, we have our days too.
We do.
And
when you think of when you go into some places, like you can see in the emergency room, 15 minutes to diagnose, 10 minutes to do this, 10 minutes to do that. But being able to go to one of your workshops or one of your clinics, you have time. And time is what's really needed.
And that's what you need
to understand what the problem is, not just assembly line and get it moving. Find out, get to the root of the problem.
Right. And I'm telling you, if you've never been there when we've done, when we go out into the pub, it is just so much fun because it's a lot of laughter. People are sitting there getting their results and talking about it. It's just a lot of laughter, and people are so open to us. We have gone to places that I always say, it's really good. When people come NPO and they bring their medicines, I want them to, when they're getting their labs, their NPO. So I ask wherever we going, if they would just have a small little snack for them, banana, coffee, muffins or so forth, something nutritious. So once they take their medicines, usually senior citizens, they can take their medicine. We went to one church and she said, y'all can come in and get breakfast. I'm like, okay. Girl, they had a spread, like grits and eggs. I'm like, oh, y'all didn't have to do that. Oh no, man. It was like that was a blessing because they did it because they wanted to. they were so thankful that we came, and it was like way out. But, you know, it was like nothing for us. It was like, show us how to get here. You know, we're just thankful just to be there to pull our stuff out to do our job. And we're not getting paid. Not one single penny are we getting. We're not. We're doing it because this is what we love to do. Be in our community to do the things we need to do to keep you healthy.
And you're available to go, your organization is available to go to any church or any type of meeting
Yes.
that would want to contact you.
Yes, anybody that will allow us to come in.
That's wonderful. Now, let's talk a little bit more about the medical field. Why do you think CNAs are important? I know some people look down on CNAs, but why do you think a certified nursing
Because
assistant
number
is
one,
so important?
when I was in nursing, I did a lot of hospital. You can't a good CNA, somebody that really loves their patients. CNAs can tell you more about your patient than you can, because they're with that patient more than you are. They're doing the bedpan a lot of times. They're giving them the bath most of the time. They're getting them ready to go back and forth to procedures. So they know more about your patients. So for me, if somebody said, let me find out about Miss Wilson, and there's a nurse and there's an CNA there, I'm going to ask the CNA, what can you tell me about her? Because they know more than she's going to know, because they spend more time with her. So CNAs are very important, and they don't get the praise and the recognition that they need, but they are like very important.
I know when my father was in the hospital and when my brother was in the hospital, it was the CNAs that
Yes.
were there.
Yes.
You know, and you know, people look, I don't want to say they look down
They
on
do.
them, but
You can say that.
But still, it is a job.
It is a
and
job.
it's a job that can help them move up to
Right.
LPN,
To wherever they wanna go.
RN, wherever they want to go. So just know, just as long as you work and you want to make a difference.
Yes.
Now, we do have those who are out in the community who just do it for a job.
Right,
you know.
that's true. That's in nursing, though. That's in nursing, and the thing about it is in nursing, sometimes nursing leads to, I'm just gonna nurse. I forget that they need a bath, or I forget they need to be on a bedpan. Because when I was in the hospital working, it didn't make any difference. I need to use the bedpan, and I put them on there like, you're not gonna call this in? I'm like, why? I'm already in here. What do I need to call a CNA for? That is the basics of nursing. Taking them to the bathroom, giving them a bath, changing their bed, transferring them here and there. That's the basics of nursing. But some nurses they shy away from that. That is not what I took this job for. So, you know, you have nursing, it's, in a sense, nursing is becoming it's a job because I can make good money. Not because my old school nurses, we love what we do. You know, you wouldn't believe we're combing hair. You know, I'm not a great hair doer, but you know, the CNAs, they're combing hair, they're braiding hair. We putting on makeup, we just having so much, because you can have so much fun just with your patient, and you don't realize that type of therapy helps them get better, because some patients don't have family members that come see them.
Right.
At Christmas, they're just in there. Any holidays, they're just in there. So you brighten up their day when you come in with that smile on your face. And sometimes they look at me like, because you've had them for a day, like, what's your problem today? And I'm like, oh, I don't feel good. You know, you just go through all that with them. It's just like, you know, you spend most of your time on your job than you do at home. And your patients are just...
And that goes back to it, relationships.
Right.
You know, just building relationships to know, and that helps a lot more than anything.
Well, you can't do anything if you don't have a basic relationship. Just like, you know, when we go out in the community, we go in the community as humans, basic, simple people. We don't go into community with our nose stuck up in the air, like we're better than you are, you know, we this, we that. You may know what our titles are, you may know what we do, but our personalities, we're just like you. Skin, breath, we pee, we poop just like you do. So my thing is I always tell people if I'm even doing I'm speaking engagement, I always tell people, put your pride in your pocket. We don't care what your hiney look like, your legs look like. We do not care. We just want you to be healthy. So put every bit of your pride in your pocket, because with us, your pride means nothing. Put it in your pocket.
And I have to tell, and I'm glad I can tell everyone, I want to personally thank you, because when my brother was going through his final stages of cancer, it was nothing for me to call you, to say something, to ask you questions, because it was just he and I just want you to know from the bottom of my heart.
Oh, thank you.
I really appreciate you being there.
You're
Even
welcome,
through his
Liz.
transition,
Yes,
you were there
thank you.
thinking about me because you knew how it was going to affect me
Yes.
or how it was affecting me. So I just want to, sorry.
No,
I
that's
just want to
fine.
thank you
You're
for,
quite welcome.
for being there.
You're quite welcome.
And, you know, to have people in the community who want to help and, you know, not just be just for money,
Right.
but because it's to help with life.
Right.
That's so important.
Right.
So we're going to wrap things up. Is there anything else you want to add? Of course, you want to get your information again.
Okay. CommunityNursing@yahoo.com. You can mail us at P.O. Box 49833, Greenwood, South Carolina 29649. Phone us at 864-757-2056. Go to yourbodyyourtemple.com. You can leave us a message, or you can also leave a voice message and we'll get back with you.
Well, that's good.
Thank you.
And that's it. So we thank you all for listening, and we hope that something that has been said has inspired you, has encouraged you, has empowered you, but most of all has energized you to be about what's good, to tap into the Caring Community Nurses
Yes.
Association. They're here, they're free, they're
Yes.
available, not just because they're free, but because they want to serve the community.
Right.
So you don't have because you don't ask. We're letting
Amen.
you know here at Tri-County Media, we want you to know what good things are in our community. So thank you for listening today. And also we want you to email us at 728whatsgood@gmail.com if you have any comments or any questions. And just know that we're here for you. And we just thank you, Gwen, and the Caring Community Nurses Association for what you're doing, for God blessing you for all these years and for what is to come.
Thank you for having me.
So this broadcast also is sponsored by the Wear Shows Hardware. So we thank you for listening. God bless you until we meet again.
This episode is sponsored by Wear Shoals Hardware, everything for your everyday living needs. Call at 864-456-2122.